What up, people? My name is Lewis Lee, and if you haven't noticed, I'm in the witness protection program.
Looks that way.
We're in the new house, and everything is, I don't know if you see, but we got boxes everywhere. We haven't unpacked everything, but this is Planning Traffic, and I'd like to welcome everybody. And we got a special guest, Ryan. He'll be on in a minute. We got my man, Ray.
Howdy. And we were talking last week about your relocation efforts, and we've realized that you've moved more than most of us have gone shopping.
Yeah. Hey, when a deal comes by, man, you got to jump on it.
Man, what can you say? I mean, I get deals. I just got a deal on like a drum set, but like to get deals on like housing, that doesn't happen to me.
Well, see, here is so cheap to live here, man. I mean, I was out to dinner last night with Dave Hayes from Hot Rod Innovations, and I was telling him the prices that are here, and he was just amazed. He was like, "Oh my God, I mean, a $70,000 house here in New York or California, it's $200,000." Wow.
I followed Dave on I guess it's on Instagram. I just invited him back on the radio show to talk about his deal because, I don't know if he wants to break it or not, but good things are happening for him, and I'm very happy to see that.
Oh, yeah. He was here last night, and he had his big meeting. So, he's going to come on the show as soon as he gets everything pinned down and talk about it. So I'm sure he'll be on your show as well.
Yeah. I'll put him on this Sunday if he's available. I just shot him a DM and I said, "Hey, listen, if you're, let me know when you're available and I'll get you in." So we'll see.
I tell you what, man, I'm very excited for him. He's stepping into a whole new adventure.
Yeah, when you make deals like that, that's it can be a lot. Like he said when he was on this show last, I forget how long ago that was. Was it I don't know. I think it's a couple of months ago. It was a year ago, but it was a little while ago. He said, it's like kind of like what I always say, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. Yeah. And I mean, it opens up other, doors open, but a whole new world opens up. It's like, stuff that you don't even imagine. So.
Yeah, it's really exciting. He showed me some pictures. He's ready. I think he's ready to go.
Excellent. Yeah. That's good. Well, I hope so. It's he said he was willing, ready to quit his day job, the whole bit. And throw it full time. So that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So relocations aside, what they do, like take your good camera from you and give you like some like borrowed pinhole camera?
No, you know what? It's my same camera. It's the lighting. I had the ceiling fan light on, but you couldn't see me. I was like a white guy.
Okay. How'd that feel?
My credit score went up.
That's funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. Stay just the way you are. You're cool just the way you are. You don't need to change anything.
Yeah,
that's good.
So, I just got in the house. We still got stuff at the condo, and I've been moving stuff. Man, it's just
okay. So you went to a house again, a house. Cool. Yeah. Good. How's the garage space?
It's a 2-car garage, but it's kind of deep. And whoever had it, they had a shop in there. So I got some room to do some stuff.
Well, you need, like us, you need 3 shops, Yeah,
really.
For all different hobbies. So that's excellent. That's good.
Moving out of the condo, I thought I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I still got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. what I did is I packed it up from the old house and stuck it in the new garage and never unpacked it. So now I still got all that stuff.
And I've been fortunate I got married in 84. We moved into a house. Then from that house I moved into this house, and I've been here since 86. So
really,
when I got to move again, it's going to be hell. But I even then stuff stayed boxed for years. I can't imagine,
Right.
I don't know.
Hey, Ryan. Can you hear us?
Sign language. No audio.
We're getting close. At least we can see him.
Yeah. We're halfway there. Working on the audio. I want to get my setup, and I've tried to do it a couple times, to use just my mic without the headset because the speakers are in front of me. So and the mic is directional, so it won't pick it up. But every time I tried to do that, it didn't want to do it. And then when I didn't need it to do it, it did do it. So that was something. That was a glitch. That was
we heard something. I got a basement in this house too, so I'm gonna build a nice studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna really hook it up.
You'll be busy. And well, what's your wife's list like? I'm sure she has there's always a list of things that she's got that you need to do, right?
Yeah, she's a trooper, man. She's working on it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good. So you're in the same town, same part of town, or you?
Yeah, well, I moved back into the ghetto a little bit.
All right.
You know, I was in the suburbs for
right
a little bit. So my neighbors were walking by, said, "Oh, you're moving," and they were smiling pretty hard. So, I guess they were happy I was leaving. Because me and Peaches used to come in pretty loud sometimes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That guy that comes in with like the ammo boxes and a motorcycle and his leather belts, and get him the hell out of here.
Yeah, thug. We got a thug in the gated community.
Yeah, right. Hey, thugs got to live too.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Hey, I got a good job. I can live there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. You see, you got to take the time to get to know people, to know, who you're dealing with, because we all have hobbies. And I mean, there's a lot of people that are like milquetoast. They don't do shit. They just they don't have hobbies. That the hobby is watching football or TV, and the wildest thing they do is like stay up late and have an extra beer. But and I'm not saying.
Well, that's kind of me, actually.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like the point I'm trying to make. It's like you got to get to know somebody before you start to judge somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Because
we can hear you.
It's like everybody talks about, profiling people. I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing. I have a profile. We all have a profile. If I don't like my profile, I could work to change it.
Yeah.
So get to know it first before you go and act
That's
on
true.
it. That's how I feel about it. But
Ryan, do a mic check. I think I heard you.
Now do a reconnect. And I tell you, on this network, this channel, it's almost like weather has an effect on things too.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we've had some times where there was a little bit of weather and guys would drop out and come back, and what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Testing. No, we can't hear you. I tell you, man, this gets frustrating with not being able to get people connected.
And I was telling someone about this. It's my buddy Mike from the shop. He tried to come in a few weeks ago, and I asked him to come in last week, but he couldn't do it. I told him, I said, everybody's setup is different, so it's there's no one set of rules that works for everybody. You just got to kind of play with it. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Sometimes the phone is better than the. He was on a laptop and he was having trouble. I said, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm as soon as I get my stuff straightened out around here, probably the next 2 weeks, I'm going to really try to look for another system. I'm going to check Blue Jeans again because I think they added some new features.
Oh, okay.
So, we just got to keep bouncing around, I guess, until we find the right joint.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, try unplugging your headphones and see if that'll work.
I heard a click.
Yeah.
That's probably me unplugging my jack.
There we go.
We can hear you now.
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Is there an echo?
Yep. No, you're good.
Oh. Well, he's got an echo and you don't.
Oh, I do.
No. Oh, you do, Ray?
No, I don't hear it. No, I said no echo.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's just do this then, because man, I'm struggling so bad.
Yeah, you sound good.
That's fine.
Dude, look at all this stuff. Like I have laptop, PS4 headset, like 15 wires behind me.
Yeah. It's our system. It's not you, believe me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has different issues of getting on. It's the craziest thing. But welcome, Ryan. Is it Sanders or Sander?
Snyder, actually.
Snyder's.
The pretzels.
Okay,
Yeah.
Snyder's. I'm sorry.
Good pretzels too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So you're from
that was a process.
Performance-Built. Tell us a little bit about what you do and where you're from.
All right, so we're based in Pennsylvania, and we're Performabuilt transmissions. So what we do is basically re-engineer all kinds of stock transmissions, mostly just Ford and Chevy, but we can do up to 2,000 horsepower if you need on certain ones, and we're booming pretty big this year. We're making a real splash, so I'm sure any reading about us, you'd see that a little bit.
How long have you guys been around, Ryan?
Me personally, I have been here for about 5 years, but the company itself started in 2006, so it's been a while.
Nice. So now, would I bring, like, say I wanted to bring a transmission, I'd bring mine to you, or can I buy one directly from you already done?
You could buy one directly from me. I keep like a huge stock of cores in here, so we have good cores that we get. And if you don't have a core, which most units I don't require that, the 4L60, pretty common, made for 30 years, readily available. And half of them are pretty decent because they just kind of wore out at 100,000 miles and never got that far. Some of the newer stuff I need a core for. The C5s are hard to find. So it's a mix mash of sometimes I do need, sometimes I don't.
Right.
Are you a rebuilder yourself? Do you do that kind of work, or are you at a different end of the business?
No, I am actually one of the only 2 builders here.
Okay.
And we do all of them. Just me and Frank. So that's.
So let me ask you this, brother rebuilder, because I was an auto electric rebuilder, and I do carburetors and stuff. And I say brother rebuilder because it's a mentality, a rebuilder's mentality that I say people who rebuild stuff has. I know Lewis has it too. Like we'll take stuff apart and we'll fix it. So how did you get into rebuilding?
Well, it started like way back when I was in the oil field, and I had a lot of money to throw around, and I got into cars and just learning through blowing things up and everything. Yeah. It started with like not being able to afford an oil change when you were really young. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like insurance and gas and everything else took your whole minimum wage paycheck. And so I pulled it up in a ditch one day, unscrewed it, drained it in a bowl, and there it was. But when I started getting money, I started messing with real parts. Over time, I got known around here as a good mechanic, and they needed somebody. And that's when this all started. Yeah. But at first, I didn't know nothing about transmissions.
Necessity's a mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell people to ask me how to learn about cars and stuff. I didn't have the money, and I wanted a nice car, so I had to, fix it and do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who don't want a nice car?
Yeah, right. And in my neighborhood, a lot of drug dealers, they go buy it and, roll through looking sweet, and I'm in a bucket. But I fixed them. Yeah. They used to come to me to fix their cars. They'd go pay to have it done, and my cars would be nicer than theirs. So then they're like, hey, what'd you work on my car?
Yeah.
So that's how that started.
I get overwhelmed by that. And honestly, I'm in the shop right now. Like, I literally almost live here. It's just that much.
Yeah.
How close is the shop to home?
Home is above the shop, believe it or not.
Perfect.
Oh, so you really live there.
I've got a sweet setup, honestly. I love it.
Yeah. Now, what part of Pennsylvania are you in?
We're in northeastern Pennsylvania, about 2 hours from Philadelphia, if you can point a mark on that. North, up north a little bit.
Okay.
So
Terry Wilson, he came through and got something done from you, right?
Yep. Long time ago. I enjoyed Terry. He's a character, that one.
Yeah,
he came in with a bang, told me exactly what he wanted. We did it. He made some changes, I think, to go to 2-wheel drive or something on his Trailblazer. So he brought it back to change the output shafts. He's been here a couple times now.
Correct.
Yeah.
And is he coming on here tonight?
Yes, he's probably commuting home. He should be on in a little bit. Yep.
Good. I can't wait to see him. It's been a while.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he makes me laugh, dude. He's funny.
Yeah. You should see him out of SEMA. I mean, he gets loose out there.
Oh, I'm sure. I see a lot of his stuff. I never like anybody's stuff. I just kind of go through quick back to it.
Yeah. We got a guy, Nelson, from Boss Hog Torque Converters. He asked for the link, but I don't see him on here. So let me make sure you got it.
Sure.
Yeah,
what is the part number? What is the name of the product?
Sorry about that. Tammy.
Ceramics and everything.
Tammy from Tampco is on doing live.
Oh, her podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to holler at her for doing it at the same time we do ours.
Yeah, right. I know. We're gonna split the guests. They split the listeners.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure out a way to get her on at the same time.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
So go ahead, Ray. I'm gonna try to get Nelson hooked up here.
So
I'm just happy I'm here and I got it figured out.
Yeah, there's always believe me, we all have trouble every once in a while. Like
I've always been bad at computers, period. Like, it's pathetic.
Yeah, and the problem is this isn't like it's not you with this. This platform fights everybody. So even the best of us to come around have trouble. I see Terry's in the chat room.
Okay, I'll get him in.
So yeah, that's the deal. But from what I can see, it looks like you have a nice, well lit, clean shop, which is nice. That's the kind of place I like to work.
Oh yeah. The beauty about this phone thing is I can give you a little show around.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Nice. It's pretty nice, central heat and air. I love that.
Oh, that's great. There he is.
What up?
There's Terry.
What's happening, fellas?
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, Terry. What an entrance.
Coming in hot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, like 12 times. Times.
Let's see what I got.
You brought the echo chamber with you.
Do you have more than one window open?
Yeah. It echoes when his head nods. That's cool.
Your head makes noise, bro.
How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. What's up,
so wait, introduce yourself.
Hey,
Who are
Terry.
you?
My man Ryan Snyder in the house. What's up, brother?
What's up, baby? I miss you.
Back at you, man. I'm gonna come up and check you out. This is the man who built my 4L70 right there. That's the dude. We did it, and we got a video coming out. We got a video coming out. With the whole rebuild. And let me tell you something. They got a nice environment over there, man. They it's in a living room, like as comfortable as you are in the living room. That's how they are when they build their transmissions.
Hey, if you're comfortable,
right,
you can do it right.
I just gave him a little look around there. I have my phone, so I can move it.
How's the Grand National?
Yeah, I'm in it right now.
How's that Grand
National? I'm shopping for a turbo, actually. I want to hear some feedback on somebody that actually has a 3.8 motor, and I'm looking at the VS Racing turbo for it. So I'd like some experience because this is my first Buick. I don't know much about it.
Well, I tell you what, let me look and see. I got a couple of buddies who have the Grand National, and they swear by the turbo. So, but most of them.
Did I just get kicked off?
No,
you're still here. Your picture went away though.
Yeah.
Try to go closer to your phone.
Yeah, I actually know a guy. There's a guy comes down to the shop. He does our alignments, and he's got a 3.8 with a turbo in a. It's a Grand National motor, but he put it in a Regal. And that guy, he's the guy you want to talk to. He's a freaking ace.
Yeah, you got a lot of these guys that swear by that 3.8, that Buick.
Yeah.
Ray, I got your email. Thank you.
And I'm waiting. I we'll talk about that deal later. That's coming down.
Definitely.
I entered the vintage world.
Yeah. Lewis, what's happening, brother?
Man, I'm stressing, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. I want to say what's up to everyone in the chat room. You got Papa Squirrel, Boss Hog in the house. Yeah, Nelson, what's up? Give him a big shout out. Yeah.
So Ryan is kind of here. I see his thing, but he's not here. Wait a minute. I think he lost connection.
His icon.
Yeah, I want to introduce him to Nelson. Oh,
yeah. Because I got both of their products in my car, in my truck.
You're the perfect guy to talk to. Yeah. Well, you know what? If you can get Ryan back in and you want to bring Nelson in, pop me out and let the two of them get in so they can talk.
Okay.
And this way, the three of you guys at least have.
I'm not going to be on that long. Actually, I gotta take care of a couple of things real quick with the truck, because what I'm going to do is I'm having a starting party. I'm going to do the whole starting thing live. So I want to call before I started. I want to make sure everything is plumbed and everything, and because I don't want to waste time checking the regulator. Like setting the regulator. No, I just want to. People want to see it. They want me to just start it up, and that's what I'm going to be working on. I don't know what your background with something like that is, but that's an old thing. Guys did that back to like the 50s and 60s. And, I don't know if that's what you're following, or if you're just it's a happy accident, but you're actually following a really cool tradition right there. No, well, with the regulator, because I got the boost reference on the truck, and you got to have it at a constant 58 psi. Right. So when that boost reference kit, it should be no less than 58. So I'll set it for 58, 59, and maybe I will do a video on how to set a boost reference or either a fuel regulator.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
But
you have to set it under load too. It has to be under load condition.
No, you got a turnkey exactly, and exactly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a starting, like Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live when I start the truck, because I got a lot of subscribers and followers that I said I'm not starting this truck without you guys, and so I'm going to stay true to that and do it live, start it up. But I don't think they want to see me, feeling around, make sure there's no leaks up under the truck or anything like that.
It's part of it. It's part of it. We all
exactly. Matter of fact, I may do a video on how to, because you're going to have to also check the radiator fluid. You want to make sure, bubble. You want to make sure that the heat.
And you did a video on that already, right? I saw one of your videos where you were doing a burping system and making sure you didn't have air pockets. That's a great video. Yeah. Because one of my cars, my Fiat, is prone to air pockets. As soon as you drain the coolant, you got it. You're getting an air pocket. Yeah. So that was excellent. I was very glad to see that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because I learned that from Street Performance, Mark Campbell. He everything I know about LS is from that man, and he goes, the biggest problem with with the LS when you first started is overheating. But what you got to do is you got to raise that engine, right, and then pour the fluid in the top hose, and that will take care, because now what's happening is the coolant is coming into the bottom of the radiator, so you pretty much get you pretty much get all of the bubbles out, because the bubbles are going to come to the top. So he showed me that little trick, and that's how I've been doing them ever since.
I didn't know that. Now I just learned something.
Now, see a car that has a thermostat at the bottom of that top hose, that ain't going to work because the thermostat's closed.
Right. But what's happening is the LS is on the side on the bottom.
Exactly. So, exactly. You just got you got to know what you're working with, and you just have to use some common sense. And, how you doing, Nelson?
My man, Nelson.
Good to see you.
The man.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I've been working, man. I hope Ryan gets back on here. Is he trying? Or?
Yeah, let me see if he's back in the thing here.
That's cool. What's up, Terry?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Just give me some props, man. Oh, what's this?
Good, man.
Suck up.
He looks like the back of the shirt, so.
Yeah, it is.
But I tell you what, you go ahead and let Ryan, and I'll come knocking on the door a little bit later on. I want these two guys definitely to talk.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, pop me out.
100%.
Popped. All right, let's get Ryan back in. So what's going on, Nelson?
Man, we're just doing some development and stuff that we're going to launch a new converter coming up. It's we're trying to make the 4L6 65 and 4L70 converters, but it's what Terry's got. We're trying to actually take a couple of pounds off of that. What he's got in his Trailblazer is an Outlaw series converter, so it can handle in excess of right there at 2,000 horsepower. But with the lockup, it only weighs 25 pounds. We're trying to get that down under 23 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this.
Mhm.
My F-150, if I changed out the torque converter with a lighter one from you, it'd save me some fuel, wouldn't it?
Yes, it can save you some fuel. The only thing I'd be worried about is transmitting way too much heat, because we can go ultra light, but we can also you don't necessarily have to go with more stall with a big truck like that. You can actually lower the stall and get better fuel economy and stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about it, because man, this thing eat me up in gas. I gotta sell one of the kids.
Yep.
There's
Hey,
Ryan. You're back on.
I'm Nelson. I'm with
Yeah.
Boss Hog.
Can you guys hear me? See me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, Ryan,
All right,
introduce you to Nelson. This is Nelson from Boss Hog Torque Converter.
How you doing?
Hey, you're doing great, man.
Oh, hand in hand. Look at that.
Now Terry has both of your products in his Trailblazer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terry's what converter does he have?
He's basically got he's got a 245 millimeter core that has been, the stall has been removed in it. So he's got an Outlaw series torque converter with anti-ballooning blades.
I'm just trying to turn my volume up here. That's oh no. Don't tell me I messed this up again.
No, you're good.
Yeah, we hear you.
Uh-oh.
We heard you.
It's okay.
Quit touching stuff.
Yeah, I was working just fine, but yeah, basically, what he's got is a really tight torque converter, because that Trailblazer's got a little weight to the body and stuff. So, we're concentrating on, making sure that we have maximum torque multiplication with that small diameter torque converter, so that it still becomes everyday drivable.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty sweet that you can modify and match up stuff for people's needs.
Well, that's something we could do a little bit beyond a lot of our competitors as far as that's concerned. I mean, and that comes back from my background learning about turbines when I was in the Navy. Being able to work on the Tomcats and stuff, it allows us to make these adjustments to the fins to match it up, so that we can again predict the outcome of this stall a lot tighter than most of my competitors. And that's what you want, man. I mean, you want something that's everyday drivable, that's going to have that punch. You've got to match your setup all the way through in order for the proper output. Props to Ryan. I've heard he's got one hell of a transmission that does a great job with great output. So,
we do. Tranny. I mean, to me, the torque converter is actually more important, but they do go hand in hand. Like, torque converter is like your fluid coupling, you know what I mean? And the stall is a crazy concept of what it does, with no computers, just how fins are welded in there and everything like that. The transmission, just purely my job is to make sure there's no loss in the transmission and it can actually take what you're putting out. It's pretty much that simple on my end. And there's a lot of cool things we can do in the meantime, like trans brakes and making certain things come on when they weren't ever engineered that way to make it better, and et cetera.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It's a cool thing. Trannies and torque converters. Hydraulics are fun.
Yes, they are, man. So,
I was always scared of transmissions. I never dug into one. It just looks like too much stuff that I could mess up.
No,
if
man,
you've
buy a core, take it apart, and play.
Yeah.
Then you can't mess up. It's already broke.
Right.
You don't have to put it back together. It doesn't matter if it works or not.
To see how it's put together.
Yeah.
But when I started, I started with the 60. It was like the first tranny I ever learned. And I never understood why everybody struggles with it so badly. Like, it seems like no one can get this right. And I started doing other transmissions. And I realized how much easier and more efficient and everything a lot of these other ones are, and how complicated this one really is. Like, it takes me way longer to build a 60 than anything else. And it's just because all the little things you have to do to it. There's like a million to make it hold anything. And other ones, they're just engineered a little bit better, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen some 4L60 take some punishment, man, but you do some really good work from what I've heard. I've been spreading the word for you too, so hopefully that'll
I appreciate that.
I don't know if you've had people tell you that, but we try to network with
so far. I have the sheet in the car. It's owned by Dennis Murray. I haven't heard from him in a while, but it was in a full weight GTO with 12. I think it was 1,194 wheel horsepower and 1,041 foot-pounds of torque. And it's still out there. It's actually in a new owner with the C5. And the guy runs like 5 tanks of nitrous. It's insane. And he's got 3 of mine. So we're pushing it out. I mean, it's all about those little things in that transmission. That's all it comes down to.
Right. Ryan, do you rebuild converters at your facility, or you just transmissions?
Just transmissions.
Okay.
We typically have sold FTI converters pretty much the entire time we've been in business. And if you have a problem with the converter, I can't really do anything with it. I don't have the machines you have, so I have to have it sent to them.
Okay. It's certainly, yeah. I mean, we're looking at like the heart and the lungs. We're looking at 2 major organs here that definitely play together, but aren't. So it's kind of interesting to see, what kind of, like, where you guys come at the same problem. It's going to be kind of interesting for all of us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the torque converter does what it's told by the amount of fluid pressure being pumped into it. So, the valve body and all the intricacies that he's talking about, is a direct play in how the torque converter is going to work for your application. I mean, the torque converter is far more simple than most people think. There's just a lot to it. What I mean by that is it's simply fluid pressure versus resistance in order to match your stall. Because how the motor breathes, how the fluid is being pumped down dictates how the stall is actually going to work.
Yeah, like anything else, there's subcomponents and subcomponents, and there's a science behind all of it, and that's what most people don't understand. That you start tweaking those little subcomponents, the little things, and it affects the bigger machine, and that's how you have a winning combination.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what mathematics, Mr. Boss. What was your name? I'm sorry.
It's okay. My name's Nelson.
Boss Hog.
Yeah, my name is Nelson.
Okay, I'm not sure what mathematics Nelson goes through to figure out like the stall speed and all that stuff, and it might be similar, but what we have to go through here is basically like the amount of fluid or volume of fluid, pressure behind it, and the surface area of the components being applied. All that is going to result in how much power it's actually going to hold. And then that boils down to all the individual components. Like you have 2 servos that have bigger surface area, and then a band that it applies that has a bigger surface area. And you back that up with a bunch of volume and pressure, and then it'll hold, X amount, whatever width you put the surface area to by pressure by volume.
Yeah, you lost me.
That is a very calculable but that's a little bit more tangible, because you have surface area versus just actual fluid pressure. The fluid pressure is generated inside a torque converter, so your actual torque multiplication gets built up by centrifugal force. So that in itself is a physics equation. So, Ryan, if you go from, a Y pipe out of like, Lewis's truck and, single pipe going all the way back, if you turn around and put headers and true dual exhaust on that, you take so much back pressure off the motor, the stall can actually drop as much as 400, 500 RPM. It's like just taking a brand new Mustang off the shelf, and just running open headers. you're not going to have enough bottom end torque to really support it unless you're going to be able to slip that thing up to 3,500, 4 grand to have enough back pressure for that fuel injection to take over. But you take all that back pressure off, you don't have as much resistance in having to force that air out, so it actually drops the stall in the torque converter. That's just an exhaust. You haven't even opened
Actually, didn't know that.
Yeah, we haven't even said the C word yet. You get into the camshaft, and of course, boom, now it's a whole, and then the rear end, the gears, everything has to play in concert. It's like a band.
To our best knowledge,
the rear end's a big player.
Figuratively speaking, there's about 7,300 variables for each particular setup.
Wow, I don't know if there's that many.
Well, you start off with is it a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, or a V8? And then how many different cams are there with different load separations and center lines that directly affect vacuum? And so how many cams like that are there for the small block Chevy? Now, how many cams are that for the small block Ford?
How many books are available?
You really have to think of how smart people were back in the day with no computers, they had to travel to the library to learn stuff. You know what I mean? And they created all this stuff, how many years ago?
And then there's the guy and there's the racers that did it just by the seat of their pants, just by trial and error. Let's try and let's advance this 5 degrees, or let's shave something off over here, or let's whatever you want to insert. Yeah. And it's like, all right, if we blow it up, we'll just back it up and we'll do it again.
Wasn't the first automatic Plymouth back in the mid 40s? I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Hydro something.
Some of those hydro sticks were real early. Yes, in the 40s, there was some real early ones. And I think it was in the Chrysler, Nelson. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. Was, I think I've actually saw that car, and that was explaining that was one of the first ones.
No, wait a minute. No, the Cord. I think Cord had an automatic unit, not like in the 30s, like 37, if I'm not mistaken. It was front wheel drive.
Okay. The Plymouth is the one that I first heard of.
I'm getting dizzy here.
Yeah, man, this thing's going crazy.
This is wild.
Don't look at the screen. Don't walk into the light.
Yeah.
And what sucks is I pay for this.
Yeah.
Mess.
Do you see that? What is happening?
I don't know, man.
I guess this is the crowdcast on acid. Huh?
Yeah. Right.
All right. Listen, I think the problem's my end. I don't know.
Well, Ryan, if you ever want to hook up, man, if you ever get down to Alabama or even in this area?
You think I should just log off and try to log back on?
Yeah, try it.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
All right.
Tickle a connection.
Well, it was him.
Down in our shop, man, we welcome people to come through and take a walk through and stuff, and I've been begging the heck out of everybody, man, and playing in traffic. Stop by. Me and Papa Squirrel's been by, and we gave him a full blown tour and stuff. Actually, we took him to lunch too, man. We went to Logan's, but I can't do that for everybody. But
listen, Papa Squirrel is a trooper. Him and Debbie, they do some traveling.
Yeah. 100%.
What kind of place is Logan's, Nelson?
It's kind of like a Texas Roadhouse. It's a little steakhouse type deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, but we kind of walked them through the shop. We show them all the lathe machines. Every single one of the lathes are certified and just dead on, man. We've got people coming in. We've got 21 lathe machines now. And we got stamping capabilities from 42 pounds to 110 tons. I said 42 pounds, 42 tons to 110. We've even got a Warren Swasey number 5 lathe machine that's just dead on, and it was built in 1941.
That's great.
And I mean, just
and strong,
just as true as all get out, man. I mean, it's amazing how these machines were built. The clutches are great in it.
back to the smartness of the people back in the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and some of those machines weren't really designed. They were cast and bolted up, and they weren't meant to. They don't want you taking them apart. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
American made.
So we've just going at it tenfold, man. Trying to
guys. I'll be back. I'm gonna go grab my tablet.
Expansion.
Okay.
So I
guess kick him out.
What's going on with the big dog?
Yeah, once I get my head twisted back on from this move, and I got a couple of projects I got to get out, leather projects. But I think I want to get my truck straightened out a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to, like you said, maybe do dual exhaust, and I'm going to lower it for sure.
Hey, do you remember the DNA mufflers?
DNA mufflers.
They were pure stainless steel. I think they were Canadian, and they're like glass packs. I mean, if you literally take the 3-inch pipe and just barely go, you could feel that coming out the other side, but it wasn't super loud. And what it is it had like, basically channel iron set up all throughout. Angle iron. It's just a V set up, and it's spun around in different places, and it's like DNA. The DNA chain goes around, and so it kind of keeps it quiet. But there's like no back pressure to it. I may have a couple of those that I could throw your way, man. I mean, like I said, they're pretty nice. So
because I want a nice sound. I like a little bit of sound, but when I get in it, I like it to, let people know, oh, he's in it. You know what I mean?
You'll know these are in it. In fact, I'd be concerned if there might be a little drone in them. Yeah. So we'll take a look at that.
And also you talk about drone can be contained or changed by pipe diameter, muffler placement in the system. Pipe length is again, it's kind of hard to do on the fly. You want to find somebody who's done that research for you. That so you don't have to go out there cutting pipes and welding them back together.
Yeah, what's nice is the internet, man. Is I can do some research a little bit.
Yeah.
The only thing with this truck, the stinking bed's rotten out. I mean, it's not bad, but it's surface rust, and I know it's gonna just go crazy because at work there's 2 people that parked next to me with the same truck, and they're all rotted out. I'm like, oh my god, that's terrible.
Rust neutralized it, put a bed liner on it.
What about one of the spray-in ones or one you do yourself that you'd roll in with a roller?
Bed liner, yeah.
I was just looking at that the other day. I'm definitely gonna do that, but I gotta fix a little surface rust on the inside, so I'm gonna fix that, and I'm gonna do that roll-on bed liner. But around the fender wells, I mean, mine is just bubbling up a little bit. But man, I see like some people that work with me, man, their stuff is just, you can stick your hand in.
How'd you get such a clean one?
I don't know. It's pretty clean.
Well, those are probably driven all year in the snow and and all of that. So it gets in between those in the seams. They weren't built for forever. They were built just to get out the door.
Yep. And it's all the beds, even newer trucks. One of my buddies has a 14, and it's rotted out.
Seen some new ones myself. Yeah.
Yeah, the cab is beautiful, but then the bed is just junk.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys seen the Raptor R? I think it's called.
Yes.
One of my buddies just bought one. This thing is a beast.
It is so slick, and it's got adjustable ride height.
Oh.
The truck, you can adjust it on the fly, or you can set it up so you park the truck and the suspension will drop down, and then you get out of it. It is very cool. Very, very cool.
Nelson, it is. They put a fiberglass kit on it. It's wide. He was parked on the street, and his tires were on the grass, and the other side of his truck was in the middle of the street. F-150. They put these these military rims on it, like off of. I don't know what that come on, man, but you should see this thing. I don't have my dual monitors, so I can't pull up my screen. I would show you.
Like it's being Baha'd out, you know.
Oh, this thing is way bigger than the Baja.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a monster. And I guess they only made like 250 of them.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know what he paid for it, but I bet you it was some money.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, those Raptors are pretty stout as they are too, man.
Yeah.
I've still been digging all into this, Godzilla 7.3 gas pushrod motor. I mean, there's not a lot of info out there, but what I found seems to be pretty stout. Again, I've got thoughts about putting that in that Lincoln of mine. So.
And what year is your Lincoln?
A 1988.
That's the one with the fifth wheel in the trunk.
The trunk humps up. Yeah, it's a Fox model. All of the advertisements were kind of like, they were like the Wall Street Whaler, because it had the HO302 in it, AAD 327 rear diff, 8.8 differential. I mean, it was it's a sweet little ride, man.
Yeah, it was a nice cost.
Yep. Terry says, put an end to it and just put it in there.
An LS, yeah.
LS.
There you go.
Put an end to it.
Yep. We'll do something on that pretty soon. Ryan hadn't had a chance to get back on.
Yeah, let me see if he's.
Yeah, I mean, there's an open invitation there. If you wanted to come in and check it out and stuff, I mean, I want people to see that we do go the extra mile on every single piece and stuff. I mean, so you guys don't have a choice. You have to come down soon.
Yeah. If Terry would loan me some gas money, I would come down. I would go down.
I think Terry's supposed to be coming down sometime this summer to meeting up with Kevin Tetz. With you remember Peyton Cation? Oh yeah, you know Ted.
Yes.
He was on the show, and he only lives like an hour and 15 or hour and a half away from here.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he just hasn't had an opportunity to come down yet. He's been so covered up and stuff, working on his Centane truck. It's awesome. So, we're trying to get them. Dwayne Maddox is going to be back in here. We're actually meeting up next week and stuff. He's got a lot of stuff going on too. He can't wait to make it back into SEMA again. We're actually planning on we're setting up our booth and all that stuff now. Deadline for SEMA is coming up by, I think it's March 27th. So, I mean, that's how early we have to start all of this planning. It's just, so complex and big for us. And we just, I start getting excited come January about it. But, coming up with the ideas and following through and making sure you're there. I mean, it's quite the task.
Yeah, it's going to be a good year. A lot of us are all connecting up, so it's going to be really good.
Yep, 100%, man.
All right, here we go. I found it. I think. Is this it? No. Sorry, I got my hopes up. I want you to see this truck, man. It's killer. I should text my buddy and tell him to send me a picture of it.
I didn't know they made that few of them. There's one right by the shop. I pass by it all the time when it just sits there. The guy bought it and just sits in his driveway. Never takes it out.
Yeah, it must be nice. Probably you can't afford the gas.
No.
I don't know what size those tires are, but man, I'll tell you, they're up to my chest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm not a little guy.
Well, those Raptors are what? They're actually the 10-speed automatic with 3.5 with a turbo.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that they may have just tweaked the turbocharger and?
Yeah, probably. They probably tweaked a lot of that little stuff. I mean, because it's got to be, I don't know how many pounds more.
Well, I mean, if you've fiberglassed a lot of it, or carbon fibered some of it, could kind of offset it.
Yeah, the whole hood and fenders and the bed is all fiberglass.
Oh wow! Yeah, somebody spent some money on that.
Yeah, a buddy of mine just bought himself an early retirement present and bought a brand new Toyota Tacoma. I think it's an RTD model, if I'm not mistaken. Nice, nice little short, kind of short bed crew cab truck. I go, okay, that's cool. Everybody's moving into the pickup trucks.
Yep, they're getting up off the ground and stuff, man.
Yeah. So, you'd be the only guy without a pickup.
Yep. You know what? I'll give you my pickup for your 86.
86
or 96 Impala. Yeah. I even fill a tank up for you.
Yeah, right.
Right. You know what? I've got an awesome torque converter for you if you ever need one. If you're going to pick up some horsepower.
What was it? Say that again, Nelson. I couldn't hear the first part of that.
Oh, okay. I was like, if you ever wanted to pick up about 70 horsepower, I've got a torque converter for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That car's got a 4L60E in it.
Yep.
Wow.
Pick up
now, Nelson, how am I going to talk him out of his car if you're giving him ideas to jump it up?
It's called a bidding war, right? You start this, start that.
Well, it's never fast enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Always got to be doing something.
Now, I tell you, we just took a car out of the shop today. My buddy, they own a Camaro, the 50 version. It's for the 50th anniversary. I guess it's that'd be a 66 was the first year, right? So it was got to be a 2016. Is it that? I thought it was newer than that. Anyway, this car is sweet. We took it out, had to get it inspected, and then from sitting in the shop, it had dust on it. He goes, "We got to blow the dust off." I tell you, you stand on this thing, and it's not turboed. It's an LS, obviously, but the car takes off. It's almost like when you drive a car with a quadrajet and you would open the secondaries, it would be like, the thing just throws you back in this seat, and it's scary. It's actually for a factory produced car that has no modifications. This thing is sweet, and even that. But after a while, you'd want to make it faster, which is even scarier. Because
hey Ray, is that Raptor? Is it a R or something else? What's it called?
It's a special version of the truck, and I don't remember. My buddy Mike, the guy that does, he knows all about it. He turned me on to it because he was looking for a truck a year ago, and he was thinking about one of them, but he couldn't find one. They were very hard to get, so he ended up taking a Dodge Ram. Yeah, well, this is what my buddy said, that there was only one for sale, used. Okay. Everybody's holding on to him, I guess. Yeah. And he just happened to come across it. Mm-hmm. Let me text him. Yeah. Let me see if Ryan got back in. Hold on. Let's see here. I can't believe we burned an hour already. Damn. Hey, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to jump off because my computer's at 5%. Oh, man. And I don't know where my cord is because it's packed up somewhere. That should have been in your pocket. Right. That's personal equipment. Okay. I'm letting them in. Hey, if my computer shuts off, you know what happened. That's happened to John last week. He was dying. So we ended. And then he sent me a text. He goes, "Oh, I got my battery back. You still on?" I was like, "I was already off." Yeah. We ended it early. I hear him. Do you? No. We have to rebook them, reschedule. Yeah, we gotta get them back on. Let me see what happened here. I hate this system, really do. Mm. You know, I'll never talk about another system. We talked about Blab. Right.
That was the best thing popping.
Well, but the only problem with that is, that had its issues. I mean, people could walk in and out. You don't know who they were, and there's people popping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the one time we were on and somebody put porn in the chat room?
Yeah.
Like anybody could put like animations over in the chat room, and porn would pop up. And
Right. Yeah, and people could just visit, or go into the room. It was really a real community thing. Because then I was playing with the channel on off times, and I'd see what was on, and you could monitor and just go into someone's channel, into the room. And it was kind of strange, It's like being at Studio 54.
They said that they wanted it to be more like Facebook, and they quit. They just turned it off.
Right. Yeah, it didn't hit the parameters, or went a different way than what they expected. So they're just like, okay, shut the project down. Abort.
And Nelson, there was a lot of people on there. We would have 500 to 600 people come through in one night.
That was crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
But that's the thing. A lot of them were transient, though. They didn't know what you were really doing. Yeah, and they would just kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, now you get a pointed audience.
Yep. Well, guys, I'm scared I'm going to lose my connect here, so I'm going to jump off. So, hey, I appreciate both of you, Nelson. We'll talk. Soon as I get unpacked, man. If you guys see how many boxes are around, you'll crack up. So once I get my head back on, then we'll all get together. Oh wait, my buddy sent pictures. Hold on. This thing's a beast.
If you get a chance, man, send me Ryan's info.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at that thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, see, he can't drop that truck down. He can't lower that because of the tire size.
Wait, let me. He's been having fun with it too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what rims. There's some kind of military rims.
Yeah, it's probably a a 2 or 3 piece rim.
Yeah. There's the hood.
Yeah.
That's
cool. Sweet. It is.
It's huge. These pictures don't show any justice, man. It's a Mega Rex is who built it.
Wow.
Mega Rex, yep.
That's cool.
Oh, it's a monster. These pictures really don't show how big it is. Like my wife's Cadillac was sitting in front of it, and you could almost see over the top of her car under his.
Jeez.
Yep.
Think about being in traffic around that thing, That's
yeah. It's wide, man.
Well, listen, see if we got Brian hanging or John, and dump him in. Bring him in.
Let's see what we got here.
Ow.
Ryan, if you can hear us, we'll get you back on maybe next week. We'll try to get you on next week.
Give me a shout if you're on.
Yes, that means we need Nelson back as well. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Brian. I hit Brian. He's coming in. All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys. I love hanging out with you. And
hey, Lewis. Hey, Nelson. Ray.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
How you guys doing?
Better than I deserved.
I knew he'd have his beard back already.
Yeah. He goes to rub. Listen, he goes rub elbows with the big dogs, and he shaves.
He goes to sleep, rolls over, and it's back. Jeez.
If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I eat my vegetables.
There you go.
I had a really good friend tell me, eat your vegetables.
All right.
There you go.
Hey, I told Mike Cotton that because he was like, everybody's taller than me. I was like, oh, you got to eat your veggies.
Yeah.
That was funny.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good night.
All right, Lewis. Good night.
Oh, man.
If I can sign off.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Just a crazy week, man. I coming back from Expo, and I got I can't believe, but I got 19 boxes, my orders,
Is that what that mess was that you put on Instagram? That big pile of
Yeah, man.
What happened?
Yesterday?
Looks like someone stomped on it.
Yesterday, I started out in the morning, left the house, started down the road, and I picked up my UPS order. And the UPS girl, she goes, "Do you smell something?" And I was like, "No, not really." Well, I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden I lose all battery voltage.
Oh, that was on your truck. See, that was what I wanted to ask you. What was? Yeah, you weren't. Yeah, I wasn't clear on that. Whose failure that was?
So I get over. So right then and there, I drove over to my buddy's shop. That way, at least I have, access to whatever I need or parts or whatever,
Or ride home.
And so I drove over there, and by the time I got there, there was smoke coming. The alternator caught on fire.
Nice.
Oh,
And so it was like by the time I got all the parts and got it all back together, it was like 6 hours of the day, man. What a wipeout.
Now you said that was a couple $100 alternator, right?
That was, it was with the core. Well, the core was $200.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Another Matco guy that follows me, or I follow him, or whatever. He's out in San Diego area or California area. He told me that he took his off and had it sent out to rebuild, and I just didn't have that option.
What was the brand? What was the maker of that alternator? Do you know?
To be honest, it was from the Isuzu dealership.
Yeah, I don't know if they used somebody else. It looked kind of GM-ish to me. It had like a GM look to it.
Yeah, well, that was the only other thing. That was most of the diesel ones have a oil pump on the back of the alternators. This one did not. My old truck had an oil pump thing on. It was like a vacuum oil pump.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they ran through it or why. I'm not, I don't understand. But I had a pressure line going to it. But that alternator is fairly expensive too.
Yeah.
So I called a couple places, and they said they had that one, but the one that did not was like, good luck finding it. And I'm like, thanks. So the dealer had it, and I kind of wish that the core wasn't so much, because I would have kept it and sent it off to have it rebuilt and have a spare.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it was crazy. And then my buddy, Pete, that owns the shop, he goes, "How old are your batteries?" And I said, "I don't know. When I bought the truck 2 years ago, I have no idea." So, of course, you had to climb up underneath there, and the way the batteries are mounted on the chassis, a pain in the butt. Got to be a little guy like you, Ray, because big guys don't fit.
Sure, you're not getting in there, yeah.
And we pulled one battery down, and they were the original batteries. And the truck's almost 6 years old.
Oh, so okay. All right.
I said, you know what? I'm not messing with this. Just let's throw some batteries in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Get everything tied up on this and get back to business. Try to get back to business.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan's back in the group. Is there anybody get buzzing back in?
No.
No.
Give us a call, Ryan, anytime, man. Boss Hog Doctor.
The only thing I could do is if I could, it's in theory, I could log out and log back in as Lewis. But I think I tried that one time and I lost the whole damn thing. So we better just leave it the way it is. This system doesn't like change. It doesn't like when you try and do something different.
No, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So that was so I had all that to do. I mean, Wednesday, man, that just worked me up, man, because I had so much to do.
Well, yeah. Now you had to put money. You're coming back off a week off where you lost, potential sales during the week, and now you got a big repair bill on your own vehicle. So yeah, it's the old double whammy.
Yeah, that's the fun of ownership. Be an owner. Don't worry, you make big money.
Right. Well, the vehicle maintenance, that's definitely part of it,
Yeah. So, but I got another I don't know. I think next week, another 10 boxes coming, maybe.
Okay.
So,
oh, you know, I wanted to ask you. I did get. I was going through my my bills, my paperwork, and I had the my Matco bill that I paid. Did that fender cover go out or?
No. Well, I have it sitting. I was just waiting for our next order.
Good. That's all I want to know. That's all
I have it sitting
right
right here.
That's fine. I just want to make sure because I saw it on the receipt. I said, wait, I didn't get that yet. As long as you have it, then I'm fine. Good. Cool.
Yeah. No. I thought that. Well, I don't know. I kind of thought that you'd come up with another list, Ray.
You know, I'll tell you something. That's the problem. I'm doing some others. I'm stupid. I just bought a drum set that's coming in next week. A vintage.
Oh, really?
A vintage mid '60s Ludwig drum set. The thing is like, it's an investment, you know, and and I didn't see it coming. It was like out of left field. I'm like, oh man, I got tool bills due already. Still, I'm like, shit. So,
wow.
But what are you
Where
gonna
did you find that? Was that from that guy that you hooked up with?
Yes, I actually reconnected with the guy who was my original drum mentor and teacher back in the late 60s into the early 70s, and I haven't seen this guy in 45 years. So we reconnected, and it ends up he's got a collection of stuff because he became a teacher, a music teacher, and he's played in big bands, and you know, he's had quite a career. So of course, like anything else, whatever you're proficient in, you collect and you buy. He got a bunch of drum stuff, but he had a friend. This is the cool part. There was this black guy that he knew who, and I got to find out. He said his name and I don't remember it. I got to find this all out and write this down, because this guy was a session musician back through like probably the late 50s, 60s, and 70s, and maybe even later. He was telling me, he says, a lot of the songs you know that are on the radio from back then, this guy is playing on the drums, like Hal Blaine played in the Wrecking Crew, you know, the Beach Boys and all. And he even sent me a picture of this guy playing this set. He says, anyway, he says, you know, they lived near each other. He says, they've worked together and all. He says, we kind of promised each other that like when one of us dies, the other one will help sell the stuff off for the family, you know. And he says, unfortunately, this guy passed away this past year, so I'm selling off a lot of his stuff. He says, I went to this warehouse that he has in Queens. He says, you know, he goes, I got like 20 or 30 snare drums. He has 80.
Oh my God.
And he said, you know, I'm throwing some out. And now we didn't make a deal on this set yet. So I'm like, wait a minute, throwing them out. I want to go garbage pick them.
Yeah.
No, they're like student snares. I'm like, fine. You know, I'm a student again. That'll work for me. Fine. He says, you know, I thought I have like maybe 40 or 50 cymbals, you know, good old cymbals. He goes, he's got like 150. He says, this guy I didn't know he was collecting so much.
Wow.
Sell it off. So he says to me, do you like silver or gold sparkle better? And I said, yeah, I'm painting my Pontiac that gold metallic. I said, I got to say gold. And he sends me pictures of this gold metallic Ludwig set. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to have this. I got to have it.
Where are you going to put it, Ray?
Well, he's going to deliver. I'm going to put it in my den for now, which is going to be temporary because it's going to come down here into the basement where I am, but I got to do some cleanup. I got to make some space. So, but I've been now doing all sorts of research on this early Ludwig stuff. And then, you know, now he's telling me, hey, listen, you know, he's telling me the set. When guys sell drums, they sell just the drums. He's giving me the drums with the cymbals and a throne. And everything. I mean, so he's asking me my choice of pedals. Do I want a DW pedal or a Cobra pedal, or do I want Zildjian, or do I want Sabian cymbals? Like, it's like, dude, this deal is just getting better all the time. You know.
Yeah, that's what John just asked. What snares will it come with? And
interestingly enough, John, I don't know if I sent you that picture. Because he sent me a picture with the set with this. It's like a 6.5-inch snare drum.
He said yes.
And that drum alone, he says, listen, he goes, that snare drum, he goes, you're not getting it. He goes, because that drum alone is worth like $2,500. I was like, yeah, that's stupid. He says, he says he does have the snare that goes with the set, and it's a gold sparkle. It's a festival snare. So one that Ringo played. This is like a Ringo Starr drum set. It's pretty much exactly what Ringo played. So it's a gold sparkle festival. So
wow.
You know, I mean, I actually said to him, I said, you know, I just hope that I can do any kind of justice. I don't want to besmirch this guy's reputation by playing the set like an amateur again. But whatever. So
play on it to get good, man.
Yeah. So that just came out of the clear blue. I didn't see that coming at all. It was just bang, there it is. So,
Yeah.
But this I wanted to mention that this other thing that happened, this stupid toolbox radio, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I have a nephew. He's my niece's husband, and he does truck repair for one of the fire districts. So he has, what the hell's the name of his tool? He's got a Snap-on toolbox. It's like it's the big bad something or the big. It's bigger than that.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. Yeah. It's huge. Side lockers, the whole 9 yards. I think it cost him about $56,000 for this. Like, who the hell would do that? And he's got it filled, and he's got a service truck that's equally as filled with duplicate tools. All the battery-powered stuff and hair stuff. I mean, he's got a huge investment in tools. So I brought him over to the guy from the shop's house last weekend to work on his motorhome. And it was pretty cool because the motorhome was dead. And, we're using the jump boxes and all that we have from the shop, and it wasn't cranking it over. So John says, all right, hold on a minute. Let me go to my service truck. He goes, I put this in the truck today. I didn't know if I was going to need it. I don't know if it makes it. It's a Snap-on jump box. But when you look at the jump box, if you turn it to the side, it's got a bump out on the back. It's
2 batteries.
It's an 800 amp jump pack.
Yeah.
It's like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, that got the thing started. So I wasn't surprised that he would have that. So we got to talking, and he said, I don't know how it came up, but he said he's looking for this. It's a radio / speaker system that looks like a Snap-on toolbox, like a top chest.
Yeah.
And it just so happened Mike, who I work the shop with, was there. And he says, oh, yeah, Bill, the Snap-on guy, Bill's got one of those. He had it on the truck. And he's looking at me. I'm like, really? I'm like, was I on the truck? He goes, yeah, he had it on the truck for like the last year. I'm like, I didn't even notice it. I didn't, he said, you can't miss it. It's huge. I'm like, well, I missed it because I was looking at other stuff, So he says, yeah, get in touch with her. So I send the Snap-on guy a text. I said, hey, you got that big-ass radio thing? He says, yeah. I brought it home because, nobody was buying it. So he sends me some pictures, and I send it to John, and John says, okay, I'll take it. So he comes on Thursday, which was obviously So I said, okay, bring it. I said, leave it at the shop and just put it on my credit card, and I'll settle with John. So it's $650 plus tax.
Yeah.
So, right? So I told John, I got the okay. He says, yeah, do it. I said, okay, fine. So I was at the shop today, and that's the picture I sent you. There's one that was all boxed up, banded. So I said to Mike, either Bill owns a banding machine or he had another one of these, because the one he sent me pictures of was out of the box. And he goes, no, he had 2 of them. So like, oh, really?
Yeah. So
now the story unfolds, and I asked my nephew John. I said, listen, what's the list price on this thing? He goes, well, they go for like $550 to $575. He says, the problem is they're discontinued. He goes, and now you can't find one. I said, oh, so the $650 is the bend you over Snap-on price, huh? He's like, and then, you know what he says to me? He goes, that's not that bad. He goes, no, I'm fine with that. That's cool. I was like, Jesus, man. So now Bill, of course, wants this guy as a customer.
Right.
But he's way off his route, so he ain't going to get that. So I was like, man, I was telling Mike at the shop, I said, we look at each other sometimes and say, damn, man, why did we buy that? And, I was spending money on this and that. I said, now there's guys like this out there, you got nothing to worry about.
Yep. Crazy.
And I asked John, I said, so why do you want this thing? And he says, well, it matches my toolbox and it's really cool and I don't need it, but it's just cool to have. So I got to have it. And I'm like, okay, all right. I got you. And I'm thinking, yep, just bought a drum set gotcha. I understand.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm gonna have to move, guys. Man, I gotta get on up early and all that kind of stuff, man.
All right, Nelson. It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you and talking
We'll
to
be
you.
talking to you guys, man.
All right, good night.
Take
Hold
care.
on.
Yeah, some of that stuff is crazy. I don't remember ever seeing it. I don't know how long ago it was. You said a year ago or so, because I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, they told me that it was like, John told me that it was out like about a year or so ago, and it's been discontinued since. So, and then, we took the Camaro over to a shop to get an inspection today, and that guy is also on the Snap-on guy's route. So we're talking. I was telling him the story. He goes, "Oh yeah, Bill he keeps all. He'll always get that specialty stuff and get a couple of them."
Yeah.
And I know he's a collector. I know like he buys gas pumps and air pumps and restores them, and he's got a ton of Snap-on stuff too. And I said, yeah, but to have multiples of that, I mean, that's an expensive piece. Like, who the hell would say, send me, even if he said just send me two,
Well, unfortunately, like I said, one of the biggest reasons why it doesn't say Snap-on on the side of my truck, even though I looked at them and I had a couple buddies, they will cram that stuff down and you have no choice.
Okay.
So, and they are very pro-aggressive in selling. Right. So if they say, hey, you don't sell enough hammers, you'll come home and have 2 cases of hammers on your doorstep. So,
wow. Yeah. All right. So what you're saying is he may have been stuck with 2 of those things.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's like my welder that I got. This was back in, how old is that? Well, that welder was a 91 or 92. My first MIG weld that I bought from,
right.
That was back in early 90s. At the time, the Snap-on guy lived next to my parents.
Yeah.
And I was over there, and his name was PJ. PJ came home, and I went over to talk to him because, like I said, I knew him from my parents being neighbors.
Yeah.
And he was all bent out of shape, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he said, they sent me, 5 MIG welders."
Wow.
I don't sell them. I don't have any, so I'm kind of stuck on these. And I was like, well, okay, I'm looking for a MIG. What can you do for me?
Right.
And he's like, well, here's my cost. Make it $50 more. You got cash money?
Yeah. That's a good deal.
Right. Well, that's the problem that a lot of us other distributors have. We don't understand that.
Right.
And like, it's like when you walk in and you see a guy, with a new toolbox or a MIG welder or a scanner,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, well, I got a really good deal on it. You're like, yeah, well, sometimes it is a really good deal because it's on this guy's tool bill,
Right. Well, that's like when I was talking to this guy, Eric, at this other shop with the inspection, and I was telling him about this whole deal. And he says, yeah, Bill probably had 2. I'm surprised he had a few. I said, I thought my buddy John was going to tell me it went the other way. Like, yeah, there were a couple, they were discontinued. So now he's stuck with them. So now the price was going to be, less as an incentive. Like, he just upped it. I said, and he found a perfect sucker. And then now he's probably saying to himself, yeah, if I wait long enough, I'll find somebody.
Well, I mean, it depends on how bad you want to get rid of it, But
it pisses me off. If you look at the picture, you can zoom in on that box, and right in the lower left corner, in fairly big letters, it says "Made in China."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, really? For $650? Now, John, when John told me how nice this thing is, he just opened up his own shop. It's a 6,000 square foot shop. He says he can put 3 fire trucks in it because he works on big stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I'm not putting that radio thing at the firehouse. He goes, I'm bringing it to my shop. He goes, it's gonna rock the freaking place. I'm like, okay. I said, good, because you wouldn't want that like in a dealership where like the guy next to you wants to listen to like talk radio and you're putting in like Metallica on this giant freaking system. Top etiquette goes a long way, right?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Well, like I said, they got the marketing department, and like I said, I know they made a fish tank one. They made one that was a fish tank.
Okay.
And I remember the one that was a freezer. It was a double bay toolbox, pretty big. I mean, and they made it like a freezer.
What I did do is, it was around Christmas, he had a small little desktop one, that looked like a jewelry box.
Right.
And it's a top box. It opens up in his drawers. And I actually bought it for my daughter, and I gave it to her for Christmas. And I said, yeah, so you can put your good drawing pens in here. You can use it as a jewelry box. And, and me stupidly, I said, oh, yeah, I'll take that. And then I saw what it cost me. I was like, what am I, nuts?
Yeah.
What did I do? But
I don't have actually, I thought I had one down here. We had a couple different ones, but we did for breast cancer. So we had a special run on the pink ones, and those are really hot, man.
That's cool.
Find those,
right?
Those are pretty good. It was pink. They were actually, they looked like a toolbox, but it was a coin bank. So
okay,
when you unlocked it, the whole front open, and then we had some that were. Yeah, so then we had, that was like this.
Oh, okay, I got you. So it looks like a toolbox, but it's just a box.
This one right here is a burgundy one, but it had a slot up on top.
Yeah.
And then we had a pink one, and the pink ones were really hot.
With that, you just tell guys, look, you just throw $50 and $100 bills in here so you can pay your tool bill.
That's right. Remember me.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, just while we're on that topic, we had talked the other day about this. I watched that video about the shop tour up there in Johnstown from the Macco Toolbox facility. I tell you, it looks what I got out of that is it really looks like a great place to work. There's a sense of family and community, and people. A lot of people there are like 30-something years.
Long time.
That's great. That's very good.
Yeah, I called into Brooke, and I was waiting for her to call me back because, like I said, just kind of lay the groundwork on that stuff. But it was funny. I saw Clay's Instagram today about releasing the thing. I tell you, man, it was I hope Macco will pick up on. I think they're finally realizing they have to get some of those guys to get the word out.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff was just so crazy, but.
And I gotta say, from my limited knowledge of the whole thing, and what I'm picking up from other guys, and it's my own experience too. Growing up, I mean, I was just thinking of it the other day. I was like, why do I have so much Snap-on stuff? Like, because there was no Macco guy around. I mean, I do have a couple of older Macco pieces and some Mac pieces, but I got them through other guys who had a connection. I was like, that's why. I said, because it was always a Snap-on guy, so that's why. I'm like, Now I said, okay, that was then, and this is now. So this is today. But you know what? Today, there still isn't a guy around. I mean, there's one guy who deals with the other shop in Limbrook, but they tell me the guy's a real idiot. I've told you about it. They said the guy's a younger guy, and he's an idiot. He doesn't really service them right. He doesn't do the right thing. They don't like him. Great. So the one guy who is around, nobody likes him.
Right.
So and now what I'm hearing from guys from out of state also, like from all over the place. So I think until that straightens out, that it's going to be a problem, I guess. But hopefully, it looks like it's on an upswing. It looks like things are changing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's funny. It's funny because, when they surveyed my route, when they resurveyed my route, I had a couple of shops that I had a lot of issues in, or problems. And, the guy that surveyed the route said, hey, they want a Macco guy. And I told him, I said, but they don't want me. I said, and he goes, well, what happened? And I said, well, I go in there and I said, well, first of all, if the owner of the shop is willing to try to steal something off my truck, I don't need the aggravation.
No, not at all.
And if I can't trust him, then how can I trust anybody else?
No, of course, that's.
And he's like, really? And I said, the guy comes out, I literally watch him steal a ratchet.
Wow.
I go back in with the bill and ask how he wanted to pay for it, and he wanted to yell and scream at me.
Nice. Wow.
So I said, if I can't even trust a shop owner,
that's
a
crazy.
small business guy like myself, I don't need the aggravation.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, anybody can be a prick. They can be a scale. I mean, there's bad people everywhere. So, you just got to look at, like, you found that one scumbag, I mean, you can't, obviously all shop owners aren't like that, but that guy, sure, you have nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I said they'd love to have a guy come in there because they'd probably want a 5-finger discount or
right.
I said I'm just not going to play their game. And so like I said, it's kind of hard, but it's a lot of people that get into this business don't realize how much time and how much you're putting in. And some guys try to run it as like a 9-to-5 job, and it shows. I mean, it's they have issues, they have problems,
Well, even like the guy that we have at the shop, he was I told you he was a district, I think it was a district or a zone manager, but he'd been a route guy, like 30 something years ago. And then he became, I guess that's what form of management that is. I don't know if that's middle or upper with that. I guess it's middle management. He was a zoner, or
a district rep.
He did that for 17 years. And then for some reason, and he was kind of vague with why. I really wasn't going to push him. It's his choice. I said to him, so why'd you go back to a truck? He says, well, he just said, well, things kind of changed. And I got kind of tired of doing this. So I decided to go back into a truck. I said, okay, well, that's cool. You get back with the people. And truthfully, we talk about this all the time. The guys that shop me, he's not really the best guy to have in a truck. We love the guy. He's a great guy, and he's a friend, and I really like the guy. But he doesn't. It's like, I feel like, well, what's new? It's like, hey, what's new? Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. It's like there's no, like, with all the stuff he could be pushing, he ain't pushing it. And we're coming like, hey, well, what do you got? And I told him, I said, damn, if I didn't see stuff online or on Instagram or whatever, or one guy goes through, like Clay will go through a catalog. That's how I've seen a lot of good Mako stuff too. It's like, if I don't see this stuff on someone else's channel, I don't know it exists. So I gotta come to you and ask for it. It's like, I gotta sell myself on something that's gonna cost me a lot of money, but kind of odd, right? Kind of weird.
No, like I said, and it's
but also, the online stuff works well because now, like with Clay, he got Matko Michael a lot of attention, and like I said, the guys out by me know you. They're like, hey, what's up with Brian? What's going on? They always ask about you. I'm like,
yeah, you need to get him to get on my Instagram. I need another, I don't know, 5 or 6, and I'll have 100. I think I'll have up to 100 or something.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of funny because it was like, 5 forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how that works.
But now that's the thing, you see, with the social media now, because I've seen it with mine. I don't have a big social media presence, but once, like when I follow you, and then like your guys come in, and then there's new people follow me all the time, and they're coming in from other people. And like a lot of times I'll look at them, and I look at the people's profile, like, why are you following, like girls, like there's these, like, why are you following me? You don't even have anything automotive in your profile here, like, so those are head scratches. I'm like, it's got to be just.
Well, a lot of them. Well, as I was as the way the girls have explained it to me, it's because of the number. It doesn't really matter what it's about. It's just a number that you're trying to reach a certain platform or area. That's why, like I said, I need you jump up in rank or whatever.
That's people following you. But when they're following, that's if people, like I said, are following you. But you really want to have more people following you than you're following. That's kind of the
but
thing.
So they're hoping that you just hit "I'll follow back."
Follow back. That's right. I think that's it. You're exactly right. Right. And I don't.
It's like, oh, this person's I'll follow them too.
I don't do that.
But they're just looking for a number.
And I don't do that in general, and especially, and there's a lot of guys who are following me that come in from other people, and I go and I look at their profile and it says, it's a private profile. You have to follow me to see. Well, no, I'm going to follow you just to see what you got. Forget it. It's oh, I mean, if I knew you, maybe yeah, but now I don't know you. No.
But it's always funny that like sometimes, usually most times, like when I call in on your radio.
Mm-hmm.
And usually within an hour from then, I'll get 2 or 3.
That's cool.
Either following, or they'll go through and look at the pictures and either like or not.
That's good. Good. You know what? And that's excellent. That's what media in general is doing today, and that's a beautiful thing. I mean, if that's great. That's fantastic.
So that's why, like I said, and I'm getting better with the Instagram. Is so easy with the phone. You can share it with the Facebook.
Yeah, you were heavy, man. You just like had a flurry there. I was like,
yeah,
whoa,
I know.
Brian. Well, 4. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah,
that's great.
We have a guy in our group, Chris, and he's really heavy in it, and he's been helping me with it a little bit. And he likes my platform, or he likes my "Hey Maco Man," as a as the image, and so forth. And he's like, "Man, we got to do this, and you got to come over, and we'll do this." And I'm like, "Man, hold on."
Yeah.
No, well, that's
crazy. Because "Hey Maco Man" is a great name. It's a great handle to have. It really is. And I see it like with the Maco. We got Maco Michael, and I've seen a couple other guys that are using. They use the Maco name in their name, which the Snap-on guys aren't doing.
Right.
And it seems to be a natural thing, a natural flow. It's a good. So at least they got the promotion stuff, but you got the better name to use, I guess.
Yeah, and luckily I've been able to. I got it on the YouTube.
Yeah,
and I don't have the underscore. I always laugh when if I had to put an underscore in there. But
yeah, I know.
And even with the Twitter, even though Molly's done a little bit on Twitter, but I haven't done much.
No, you know what? We have a Twitter account too, and I use it. I don't. Over the time now, I find I don't like it as much as Instagram. It seems the way I see it, Twitter is more for like announcements. You can't put as many pictures on, whereas Instagram to me is more picture based. It's more visual, and that's what I want to show anyway. What I want to put pictures up. That's what I want to do.
So I've been so like I said, I usually I'll think of something. I was like, man, I should have done that. So now I've set up 4 or 5 pictures. Ahead of time, and then I can just go in, and when I have the moment, I can just release it, time it out, or whatever.
All right. Well, the beauty of it is, I mean, and I said this myself too. I try to keep things kind of current, but I'm like, with all the pictures in my phone, I can just open up Instagram and just post something with pictures that from a year or 2 ago. Like, first of all, no one's going to know when you took the picture, and you just make a post out of it. And it's something that, maybe things that you did before you had the account. So it's, you didn't have a chance to post it.
Right. Yeah, I did. I had that in the phone, but then I had so much I had to it's in the computer. I guess I could do it through my laptop, but again, the phone's just so easy. But
you could do it through the computer. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it that way too. It works on both platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy.
And that's what I did. I was putting up I had to put some pictures of some doors sent to a guy. And what I did is I actually found it for the first time. I found it easier to email them from my computer. And then I downloaded them on the phone and I sent them to him through the phone, which usually I would go the other way. I'm more of a PC guy. I like to do it on the computer, but it's wearing me down little by little.
Oh, Ray, you cracked me up.
Yeah, well, old school. What can I tell you?
Trying to keep it old school. OG, man.
It's not. Yeah, like I tell people, I said it's not only that. It's like it's a matter of what you do. Like the the processes you follow, like we have patterns that we follow, and we're comfortable in the pattern, even if it's a rut. We know it. We can do it easy. So don't have me go outside that rut, because now I got to think about it. I got to figure it out, and I got to call one of my kids and say, help me. So, if I'm doing it the way I know how to do it, I'm in my element.
My new the district manager that I have now, it's pretty funny because he's like, I'll just PDF me that file. And I'm like, you want me to do what?
So that I could do. Yeah. That's a
and he's like, okay, so we had a crash course because in our he had a problem with a guy had went into another area and he needed a warranty, and normally I would just email the receipt to the other distributor, but because the other distributor I guess didn't want to deal with it or told the guy to go pound sand, whatever reason, the district rep got, and he wanted it in a PDF form instead of on his email. I don't know. It's whatever however he reads it. That's another thing that's crazy. Our system is different than what the management system is.
Oh, great.
So
that's
everything
good.
has to be converted or some kind of metric, changeover. It's not the same program.
And Adobe, if you want to go from like your Word, if you had a Word document, which is very common with Microsoft, obviously, Adobe is the the PDF version. To convert, you need the converter, and then now they years ago used to get that free. Now they want you to pay for it,
right?
To do a conversion. So it's like,
so he says, now go into your system and do this and hit this button. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And he goes, our system is different from. I guess they just don't want to make sure nobody can, like I said, get into their from our platform to get in or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, Mako sometimes is so secretive. You don't know what's going on. Or they're, international spies on, who's going to make the next toolbox or something.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. So my district rep was all thrilled that I've been able to send him 3 or 4 of those without being retold. So he said, see, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, on the phone you can get a PDF converter. Yeah, they have the free download.
Yeah, just you gotta pay me in tacos. Don't worry, man. I can learn any trick,
There you go. Yeah, I went out to lunch at Chili's the other day with a couple guys from work, and I had the original 1975 tacos. They were good. They made the Jameson margarita, and the girl said to us, I'm not a big Jameson guy. I had I tried some last year at the Christmas party. I was like, no. And she said, yeah, it's a Jameson margarita. She goes, I didn't think that was going to be very good. She goes, but I tried it and I liked it. So my buddy says, all right, I'll try one. And I was like, all right, I'll try one. And my other buddy says, well, I'll try one too. So, and I tell you, they were very good.
Yeah.
It was excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any of that stuff around here anymore. All that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Man, it's crazy. I don't even know where we used to have all that stuff, Chili's and all that stuff, man. None of that stuff lasts around here.
Well, why not? Why would that, where do you guys go? What do you do when you want to go out to eat? What kind of places do you have to go to?
Well, I mean, we have, we have like, we have the Outback, and we have, Red Robin.
Okay.
I don't know if they're a burger joint place.
Yeah, we have one here now. They just opened one up here a couple years ago.
We have a lot of, like Green Turtle. That's
that I don't know. Yeah.
That started down here in Ocean City, and it's crabs, seafood, it's hamburgers and stuff like that type of stuff. But we have some, but some of those really good places like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Bennigan's. I don't know. Did you ever have?
We used to have Bennigan's. That was a good place. Yeah, we lost that one.
Bennigan's and Ruby Tuesday.
Right. Yeah. There's one of them around.
And there was a lot. Now I know some of them have closed up, but I mean, they lose their friend.
I gotta tell you, there's a place that I go with my wife. It's a bar, but it's a bar with a restaurant. They got a restaurant. It's like a bar and grill, I guess, if you will. You know, the bar with a kitchen, which to me, those are the best places in the freaking world.
Yeah.
You know, you can sit at the bar and drink, or you could go and eat. And we go there to eat, and you can get. I mean, this place has specials every night, so I like to go Monday. It's chicken pot pie night. They make a homemade chicken pot pie, and they have a German night where it's sauerbraten or Wiener Schnitzel. They always have steaks, steaks. And I had last time we went, one night I said, I've been seeing this on the special menu, and I said, give me the fried chicken. And let me tell you, big, extra crispy pieces of fried chicken. It was off the hook. But mashed potatoes, like, oh my God, it was delicious. Last time we went, I said, you know what? I don't know. I don't feel like having anything. Give me a burger. Name the place is the Brick Cafe. So it's a brick burger. I said, brick burger doesn't sound too good, but as a brick. But let me tell you, it was a homemade hamburger patty. They had to be a half pound.
Wow.
And they made it on an English muffin, which is good. That's how I like my hamburgers, on English muffin. And, of course, with onion and pickles and lettuce and tomato, the whole 9 yards. It was like you had to jack your mouth open with a porter powder to get around this thing. But, man, what a burger. Oh, that was good. And I love places like that because they've always been my favorite.
Yeah. We had this place called, what was it, Fuddruckers?
Oh, yeah, that used to be up here, Fuddruckers,
yeah. They just closed the last one in downtown Silver Spring.
I hear that, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing. There's a lot of good food up here. It's definitely nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so
like what my wife just said, hey, let's go out. We'll take the 2 girls. We'll get the kids together. We'll go out together because we don't see each other all the time anymore. So my older daughter, we usually end up going to an Italian place because we have a couple around and they're really, really good.
Yeah.
So we go there. She goes, we always go out for Italian. Let's go somewhere else. So my wife's like, all right, well, let's, where should we go now? So we're in the middle of trying to figure out, should we go Mexican? Should we go German? I don't know. So we got to put this together before next Tuesday night. So.
You still haven't decided yet?
No, well, we're gonna go out like Tuesday night.
Oh yeah.
So we have some time. We gotta put it together. But yeah, they're throwing around a couple possibilities. I don't care. Whatever they find is good. Fine.
Yeah, I love some good Italian. Man, I can eat some Italian food.
Yeah, and that always ends up being a go-to because there's a lot of different things you can have. It's
And down this way, you came and hit some Mexican chicken place or some Mexican. I mean, it's all Mexican down here. Some form of Central American cuisine.
Well, I'll tell you, my wife and I went down to Tennessee 2 years ago. We stayed over in Virginia. We stayed in Roanoke.
Yeah.
And, we left the hotel and we're driving around. We don't go too far. And, there's a little shopping center and some stuff. Oh, there's a Mexican place. And I forget what the name was. It was like Viva Zapata. It sounded like a good Mexican name. Let's go eat there. So we go in and sit down. We're in a booth. And, the girl comes to take our drink order. And my wife wanted drinks White Zinfandel wine. Well, no, it was a Chablis. You think I'd know that, right? I think maybe Chablis. I don't know. White. It's white anyway. And I think I asked for a sangria and a pitcher of sangria, in fact. And girl comes back, gives me my sangria, and then she puts a glass of red wine in front of my wife. My wife's like, well, what's that? She goes, well, here's your how did she misinterpreted the name? It wasn't a rosé. She thought she wanted red. I don't know. It was like the stupidest thing how she misinterpreted, like Chablis or rosé or whatever. My wife's like, no, it's a white wine. Like, and oh, you sure? Like the girl standing there with this funny look on her face. Like, really? Are you sure? My wife's like, yeah, I'm sure I know what I drank. And I'm looking like, wait a minute, where's the basket of chips and salsa? You always get that at a Mexican place. None of that. So we had to ask her, can you bring us some chips? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll get them. And then I'm looking, there's like no salsa. So I see a table across from us. There's a guy sitting down. He's got all these little styrofoam cups with different dipping sauce in it. I'm like, where did he get those from? I see. There was what used to be a salad bar. And in the salad bar is all the dipping sauce. You got to go and serve yourself. I'm like, tell us. So anyway, I ordered like a combination platter, and it came, and it looked like Italian food. It looked more like a red sauce. And I said, I said, if the looks of this are any indication, and sure enough, I tasted. I'm like, this sucks. This is this is the worst. So I was eating my wife's. So chicken. So but that's what happens when you travel. You don't know what's. You don't know.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you like I said, you don't know, and some of those places are such a dive. I don't even know how they stay in business.
The name was authentic. John saying must have been Pepe Chipo's. That's kind of like what it was. The name was authentic, and the place looked authentic. It was decorated right, and it smelled right. It had a good smell to it for a restaurant, but the food was just like it sucked. But
you gotta watch it up here. Same thing with Chinese.
Okay.
You'll walk by and they'll have it. I mean, it'll be. I mean, it's like the red carpet, dude. I mean, it's everything, and you go in and you're like, man, how old is this food?
Hey, they're saying that up here now because of this virus thing, the Chinese restaurants are like empty, and they're saying like they're like dropping their prices to try and like make it up on the volume. Like people are just not going to Chinese restaurants. Like really, wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I had one of my customers. The service manager or the shop foreman guy, him and his wife went back to they're from Thailand, and they went back, and that turned into one of the no-fly zones out, so they can't leave. So the shop owner's like walking around all cranked up because they don't It's like, oh well.
Oh, just like not leaving, John. I sent Lewis a text. I asked him to let you in, but I guess he's away and nowhere's near his computer anymore. So,
or his computer died.
I asked him that like 20 minutes ago, but he didn't. I guess didn't get to it. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But so how was the week? How was it catching up after? It
was pretty good. I mean, like I said, other than yesterday just being a total disaster, but today was really good, and I'm hoping for a really good Friday. So
excellent, John. I read a lot of Dean Koontz stuff. What book was that in? There's a couple things I've watched about movies and books that have predicted different things. The Eyes of Darkness. I don't remember that one. There's a couple of movies and stuff that predicted things that have happened, and you got to wonder: is it coincidence or is it? I watched that show, Operation Blue Book, that's on AMC, or is it on Paramount? I think it's on AMC. It's all about UFOs and going back to like Roswell in the 40s. And what they do is the show is about events that actually happened back then, because now it's declassified. And at the end of the show, they show you pictures of the actual people and things that they had photographs of from the 40s. And you're like, man, yeah, this stuff did exist. I mean, they were, but they finally declassified it. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's funny because somebody, I don't know if you read on on the back of a Lysol can.
Yeah.
One of the things that it helps against is the coronavirus, but there's different levels of it, or this is like a D19 or something like that, where there's no strain for it or whatever. But all that stuff is crazy. It doesn't matter, man. It just shows you how dirty us people are.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, I just read something in the paper where they were saying that if you are exposed and you're, not really old or not really young and you're healthy, you'll get like a little virus. You'll have like, runny nose and sneezing and, be like kind of like the flu where you stay home and you'll be okay. It's apparently people who have maybe their immune system is compromised. I don't know, but they said there's like a lawyer in Westchester who contracted it. He gave it to his wife, and then their son got it. The other son got it, and their neighbor drove him to the hospital, and now he's got it. And now all of a sudden, Westchester's being that's up where Terry is. So it's going to just travel around. I know.
Yeah, we actually tonight our governor, Mr. Hogan, just announced that we had 3 cases because we were on the no case list, but now we have three cases of it here in Maryland now.
Right. Oh, John sent me a clipping from the book. You're gonna see it.
Yeah.
What does he say here? US, they call the stuff, Wuhan 400 because it was developed at an rDNA labs outside the city of Wuhan. Right? Wuhan, I've heard that name Wuhan before from China for some reason. Wuhan, yeah. And I don't know where. There must have been something else that came out of there a couple of years ago or whatever, but apparently
I can't remember. It was one of the other ones. I guess people just get bored and they just want to mix stuff around.
Yeah.
It's kind of like finding a new mixed drink.
There you go. That I'm down for. I'll play with that one. That's cool.
Well, add a little. It's like the first time you find the key to your mom and dad's liquor cabinet.
Wow, it does.
Stuff.
Yeah, it does say in this book. It's right here underlined. In around 2020, a service pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe. Yeah, it's in the book. Holy crap!
That's one of those time travelers.
I'm telling you, that's crazy. Now you got to say, okay, is it that? You got to. I look at everything with a scientific mind and say there is a probability that could just be a coincidence. Whenever he wrote the book in '81 or whatever, yeah, you pick. Okay, let's pick something that's going to be in the future. Let's pick 2020. Like, who's ever going to be around to see that?
Right.
So there is that possibility. And then you could say, well, sometimes they say people have inside information or they know something because they were imparted to them or it came to them in a dream or whatever. And it's a prophecy,
It's like the dude that did The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. Right. Yeah, that's, John, you're right. It's scary from a book that's from the 80s. It's like the whole Nostradamus thing predicting like the Twin Towers and the World Trade Center and all like that. And sometimes it's interpretation. You can interpret things different ways. You can make something fit a certain.
Yeah.
And you know what? What I say is, you don't have to deny or believe anything. Just have an open mind and just say, okay, it is what it is. Maybe it's true. We're not going to know now. Maybe we'll find out some other time.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't get caught up in any of the bad stuff. That's all.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's all crazy. I don't know, Ray. Oh, well.
So, all right. Time to pack it up.
What are you having for breakfast tomorrow? You haven't talked about that in a while.
You know why? I got out of the habit. My pattern at work changed a little bit. I had to be there a little earlier, so I didn't want to. I really, like before with the pattern I had time in the morning. Whereas even if I ran a little late at the diner, it wasn't a problem. I would, I had no problem at work. But now I got to be at work a little earlier, so I kind of stopped going on Fridays. And then what I did is when I go in on Saturday, I was stopping in and getting a to-go order, getting an egg sandwich. So I haven't been going for the last few months on a Friday. I've been, bringing stuff in. So, but I got a couple of bagels. Someone brought in a bag of bagels today, and I grabbed a few and I saved them for tomorrow. I'll toast up a bagel in the morning and.
Yeah, you hadn't talked about it or you hadn't said anything, and I was like, man, what happened? What happened to your morning?
Schedules change. And of course, Vince, who always wanted to know about that. Today's Vince's birthday. He turned 50 today.
Oh yeah.
So I welcomed him to the club this morning. I said, "Yeah, welcome to the club." You're there. You made it. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's Joe doing, real quick?
Joe's doing good. I didn't get to see him last weekend because I had stuff at the shop I had to do, but I'm going to go out there this weekend. I had some texts with him during the week. And
he posted on my Instagram. I was surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did he put up? What did he post?
He the one on the motor books, he liked that.
Yeah.
The motor books, and he was like,
"Oh, that picture was great."
I don't know what he really wrote, but it was something like, "That's the guy. That's the God's word or the God's book or something like that."
You may see, unless he has his son helping him, sometimes because he only has really one hand to use, the text isn't always fluent there's a lot of spelling errors. So it may be that, it's just because he couldn't edit it, or he didn't have his son to help him out with it. But what's the price point of those books? How did they price those?
He had 3.
Okay.
He had 3 likes, and he said, amen, brother. Information is like gold. That's what he had.
Absolutely.
So,
good deal. Good.
I was, like I said, I was really surprised when I saw that, because, like I said, I just hadn't heard from you or him, like I said.
Right.
And that's good that he's getting.
I know he has been looking at the feeds and stuff. Like in the beginning, his wife would hand him his tablet, and he would just like scroll and not read anything. But then as time progressed, now I see he's reading, and I've been there when he was getting texts, and he was sending me texts. So we share them back and forth. Then again, it's not always a linear thing. Sometimes it drifts, just like when you're talking with him. But hey, it's good that he's doing something. He's got to keep at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was really, like I said, well, it means a lot to with anybody puts anything on there. You know what I'm saying? Take the time. You know what I'm saying? But I was really surprised when I saw that today.
Right. Let me ask you, with those motor books, what's did they issue like a call sheet of all the different publications that are available?
Yeah, there's a actually I wanted, I asked for some literature or pamphlet, or I don't want to say I guess a list of what books they had.
It's like a call sheet. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
On our show program, there was a list of books. I can't find it, but I wanted to get it out there and let people know what they had.
Yeah.
What?
No, I just saw as you're talking, I just looked at the comments. John mentioned Wuhan, China symbols. That's probably that's probably another place I saw the word. Yeah.
China, yeah. So, and the only thing that they sent out to us, or what they gave our district rep did was the Maryland State Inspection books.
Okay.
The Maryland book, in the state of Maryland, they want you to have, there's 4 different ones they want you to have.
I used today that lift guide book that you sent me, that pamphlet.
Oh, yeah?
So I had the Audi in the shop again, and I'm setting it up on the lift, and I'm looking, and they're weird underneath anyway. I said, hey, you know what? Let me see what the correct lift points are for this car. And I took the book out and opened it up. I'm like, okay, good. It was just all 4 corners. Perfect. So it was very nice, because you just look it up by manufacturer. You look up the car, the model, and it tells you which page to go to and what diagram. Super easy. Very nice.
Yeah, it's good.
To use already. Excellent. Thank you.
But I'll try to get you a list. If I can get a copy of a list, I'll send you a text.
Okay, cool.
And let you see. But yeah, they had the. I thought of you because I got the brake bleeding procedure one.
Oh, excellent! That's a good one.
Said, man, I got a guy that knows how to, and it's even got the wax paper in it, so the papers don't get all oily.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was thinking, man, I know a guy that needs this.
That's great. Yeah. So, and that's like, information is key. And I always tell the other guys at the shop, say, listen, you got to look stuff up. You got to see what the manufacturer recommended. You got to see what their procedure is before you can go make your own procedure, because you just got to know how to do it right. Sometimes
if you left one little thing out, who knows? You'll have some air trapped,
right.
And then ABS or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So then you're fighting it all day long.
Plenty of times you can cheat a system and you can shortcut things, but sometimes you can't. And you want to know how to do it right. That's just the way it is, So
I don't know. We haven't been cut off yet.
No, because we got 2 minutes. We started late. We started a little late. But Lewis was
okay. I was getting ready to say, man.
Actually, we got about a minute left. We're about a minute, so we're going to be getting out of here. We'll be done.
So, like I said, I'll try to get a copy of that list and let you have at least. And if you need anything, let me know.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was. I was looking at the door panel one. Was really interesting too.
Right.
They had where all the clips and fasteners and screws are on door panels, because they like to hide that one clip to break a door panel.
That's an excellent one. Yeah, I've broken a few.
Yep. So
unreal.
But it was pretty interesting. But
Whoever put that deal together is a genius. He gets my vote. That guy is top notch.
Yeah. A lot of guys were like, why do we need why? And I said, man, you don't understand the information in this thing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I said, if you have them on the truck, you'll do really good with them.
All right. 15 seconds. We're out of here. Brian, it's been a pleasure.
Yep. You got it, Ray. I'll be in touch.
Talk to you during the week.
You got it. Talk to you later.
So long. Signing off for Playing in Traffic. Ray Guarino. Michael Man Brian. We'll be back next week. See ya.